Hello, everybody. It's Thursday, the 2nd of July, 020720, and the sun is shining actually on Anglesey at the moment, although for the past few days, as you know, all of us who live here on the island will know we've had pretty wintry weather rather than summer. So let's hope the sun keeps shining on us in these days as we journey through the month of July. Hard to believe, isn't it, that we're into a new month already. So greetings to you all. As always, we are aware of those who are sick at the moment amongst our friends and relations, various parishioners, those people who are at home, sick at home, and those who are in nursing homes and care homes. And especially for those families who have a loved one in a care home or a nursing home, as you are still unable to go and see them and hug them, as is possible, I think, in England or maybe even Scotland, I'm not sure. But we think of you today, over the weekend, and hope that you may be able to have your relatives visit you soon. We pray too for those who have died. This week, we pray especially for Ira Spencer, who lived in Valley and whose funeral took place last Friday. I was leading the service in the crematorium in Bangor, but as has been for a good while now, the service was very short and very few people are allowed in for the service. And that's another source of pain and frustration in the bereavement process for all the loved ones of the deceased. So we think of Ira, pray for her and her family, all those who loved her. It seems the rules are going to change in Wales. I'm not quite sure what they are at the moment, but it looks like we're on the cards for a change. There may be pubs, more shops open, and maybe our churches will be able to open and we'll be able to go in and sit quietly in prayer. Certainly, we won't be there for Mass at the moment, but maybe for visits. I actually feel that Wales is following a very interesting policy compared to England, that it seems to be taking its time with no haste. I know that many people would like there to be much more open, things to be open and back to business again, especially for the economy's sake, but also for the sake of jobs and income and paying bills and all the rest of it. I understand that. But I do think that maybe Wales is correct in the slower attitude it's taking towards this whole pandemic. And the reason I say that is, this is a very, very deadly disease. We know that. And you look what happened at Liverpool amongst all the supporters when they gathered, quite delighted to be, and quite rightly joyful about their team's victory, but gathering like that, they don't know if they're catching the virus or spreading the virus. Look what happened in Bournemouth on the beach. Thousands, they reckon, 500,000 people. That's crazy. I know you've got to get the sun and get a holiday, but, we've got to take it easy. And look what happened in Leicester. They have had to go back into lockout again, even as I speak. And all the disappointment that entails for those who are ready to open up the pubs and shops that would have opened, etc. Today, 0207, is a very significant date also for a dear friend of mine. It's a very significant birthday in her life. I've known her since pre-birth. I was aware she was expected as a baby, and I met her for the first time 2 days after birth. And I was also present at significant moments in her life, the first one being her baptism. I had the pleasure of being the priest to baptize her. And also, I was the priest a couple of years ago at her wedding to receive her vows, herself and her husband, in the Catholic Church. And now she's had a baby herself. And I I'm waiting too for these days to pass so that I can travel, hopefully soon, to baptize her baby. Because I baptized the mother when she was a child, and now I am hoping to baptize the child of the mother. And that will be a wonderful occasion. So I too am champing at the bit and wanting to get on a train and head off to be there for such a joyful occasion. I read in a magazine recently this thing about birds, that people seem to be thinking that the birds are chattering much more loudly than they normally do, chattering and squawking and making all sorts of noises, but much louder than they normally do. It seems to be, or the ornithologists are telling us, it seems to be the other way around, that the birds sound louder because there's no traffic or very little traffic in our towns and cities. They sound louder to us, but it seems to be the reality that the birds talk much louder in all the days before the pandemic started, because they had to be heard over the volume of traffic and noise in our cities and our towns. So yes, we can hear them clearly. Many people think that's loud, but apparently they're much louder when they have to shout and bong and squawk over the noise of the traffic. There you are now, just a little known fact. I thought you'd be interested in that. So anyway, I want to conclude now and finish by taking the last part of the Gospel for this 14th Sunday in the church's year. And the last part of it is Jesus speaking in the Gospel of St. Matthew, where he says, "Come to me, all you who labour and are overburdened, and I will give you rest. Shoulder my yoke and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Yes, my yoke is easy, my burden light." So I hope you all have a good week. I hope that by the time I meet you again this way, we'll be much freer and hopefully able to visit our churches and spend some time in prayer at the very least. So every blessing to you. Look after yourself, and bye-bye for now.